Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss Banker's algorithm. The resource allocation graph algorithm is not applicable to a resource allocation system with multiple instances of each resource type. So, this Banker's algorithm is applicable to a resource allocation system with multiple instances of each resource type. Okay, now we'll see why the name of the algorithm is called as Bankers. Okay, this algorithm is named so because it is used in banking system to check whether loan can be sanctioned to a person or not. Now you consider there are n number of account holders in a bank and the total sum of their money is, say, yes. uh, then, if a person applies for a loan, then the bank first subtracts the loan amount from the total money that bank has, and if the remaining amount is greater than yes, then only the loan is sanctioned. It is done. Why? Because if all the account holders comes to withdraw their money, then the bank can easily do it, right? So in other words, we can say the bank would never allocate its money in such a way that it can no longer satisfy the needs of all its customer. So the bank would try to be in safe state always. Okay, so that is the introduction part of this banker's algorithm. Now we'll see the data structure that is used for this algorithm. Okay, uh, let n be the number of processes in the system and m be the number of resource types in the system. So n be the number of processes and m be the number of resource types. We'll see one by one the data structures used here. As you can see here, available is the first data structure we are considering under this algorithm. So what is available data structure? This is a vector of length m, indicates the number of available resources of each type. Okay, so this available data structure specifies the number of available resources of each type in the system. Okay, next is maximum or max. This is an n into m matrix which defines the maximum demand of each process. So this matrix or n into m matrix says the maximum demand of each process to complete the execution of this process. Okay, next, third one is allocation. This is an n into m matrix defines the number of resources of each type currently allocated to each process. So what does it says? This allocation says number of resources of each type currently, underline this, currently allocated to each process. Next is need. This is an n into m matrix, indicates the remaining resource need of each process. So this says the remaining resource needed to complete the execution of each process, that is represented with the help of need matrix. Okay, so these are the four data structure you need to remember while solving the problem for the banker's algorithm. Fine, so we'll move to the next part. So when I say banker's algorithm, so it consists of two uh, algorithms. The first one is safety algorithm and the next one is resource request algorithm. We'll see one by one. The algorithm goes like this. Safety algorithm: let work is equal to finish be vectors of length m into n respectively. Okay, initialize work is equal to available and finish of I is equal to false. Okay, for all I values, that is from 0 to n minus 1. This is the first step. Next, find an index I such that both finish of I is equal to false and need of I is lesser than or equal to work. If no such I exists, go to step number 4. Third step is work is equal to work plus allocation I. Finish of I is equal to true, go to step number 2. Okay, this is to go to step number 2. Next, here we saw if no such I exists, go to step number 4, right? So in step number 4, if finish of I is equal to true for all I, then the system is in safe state. Okay, so these 4 steps you have to remember to solve the problem under Banker's algorithm. Okay, so we'll see a problem under this, and we'll check how the safety algorithm runs. Okay, this algorithm, I mean safety algorithm, checks whether the current allocation of resource type to the process leads to a safe state or not. That will be checked using this algorithm. Resource request algorithm I'll take up at the end. Okay, directly we'll move to the problem. So this is algorithm, resource allocation algorithm. What is the problem? Okay, so consider this is the given question. A system with 5 processes P0 through P4 and 3 resources of type ABC. So the given question says there are 5 processes in the system named from P0 to P4, and we are considering 3 resources of type ABC. See, this type means the resource type. A can be pen drive, B can be printer, C can be DVD drives. So this 3 different resource types are considered here. And resource type A has 10 instances. As I said, Banker's algorithm can be applied only to such system where the resource type has more than 1 instances, right? So here in this example, A has 10 instances, B has 5 instances, C has 7 instances. Now a snapshot is given, like suppose at time t0 following snapshot of the system has been taken. So as you know, this algorithm, Banker's algorithm, is used to avoid the deadlock, right? It is a deadlock avoidance algorithm. So at a given point of time, that is t0, a system snapshot is given. We'll see what it is. Okay, with respect to Banker's algorithm, the 4 data structure we use, right? Allocation, maximum, available, and the last one is need matrix or data structure need, right? The given data is P0 to P4. 5 processes are given, and for each processes at a given point of time, what are the instances of each resource type is allocated. That is given in this column. That is resource type A, resource type B, resource type C. Okay, A has 10 instances, right? Isn't it? That is given in the question. Now, out of 10, at this point of time, 0 is assigned to P0. And resource type B, this is 5 instances, right? So, at the given point of time, 1 instance is assigned to P0. At this point of time, C has 7 instances, out of which 0 is assigned to P0. Okay. In the same way, P1 process is assigned with 2 instances of A, 0 instances of B, and 0 instances of C. P2 with 3, 0, 2. P3, 2, 1, 1. P4, 0, 0, 2. Okay. So this is with respect to allocation data structure. Next, max. This max is what? At a given point of time, the maximum demand of the resource type with respect to each process is given here. Okay, A, B, C. These are the resource type. So here 7 instances is required. I mean the total demand of resource type A with respect to P0 is 7. So to complete the execution of P0, it need 7 instances of resource type A. Next, it requires 5 instances of resource type B and 3 instances of resource type C. Okay, with respect to P1, it requires 3 instances and 2 instances and 2 instances. So in the same way, the maximum demand of each resource type with respect to each process is listed in max column. Okay, next, available. So available data structure says at a given point of time, what are the available instances of each resource type, that is mentioned with the help of this matrix. So at a given point of time, A resource type has 3 instances, B resource type has 3 instances, and C resource type has 2 instances. Now the question is, with this data, I've asked a question, what will be the content of need matrix? So need matrix is another data structure, right, with respect to Banker's algorithm. So now our duty is to find out what is need matrix for each process. Need matrix is what? Need matrix says the remaining need of each resource type with respect to each process to complete the execution of the processes, right? So need can be calculated with the formula max minus allocation. Okay, you can see here the need of each process, P0 P0, right? Max minus allocation. Max is with respect to resource type A, it is 7 minus allocation 0. 7 minus 0, it is 7. 5 minus 1, 4. 3 minus 0, 3. Okay, and for P1 it is 3 minus 2, 1. Then 2 minus 0, 2. 2 minus 0, 2. Okay, next with respect to P2, 9 minus 3, 6. 0 minus 0, 0. 2 minus 2, 0. With respect to P3, 2 minus 2, 0. 2 minus 1, 1. And 2 minus 1, 1. With respect to P4, the last process, 4 minus 0, 4. 3 minus 0, 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So this is the need matrix for given set of, for the given set of processes, that is from P0 to P4. This is the first question. Now for this data we have to run the safety algorithm and we have to check whether this allocation will it lead to a safe state. So at this point allocation is already done to some extent for the execution of these process. Now we'll run the safety algorithm and we'll check whether this allocation leads to a safe state or not. So according to the safe state, what is safe state? If we obtain safe sequence of the processes, then we can say the state of the system is in safe, right? So now we'll run this safety algorithm. So I'm going to solve it now to concentrate. Safety algorithm. So for this, as I explained, you have to remember these 4 steps. So I already gave an introduction about the safety algorithm, right? So these 4 steps you have to remember to run the safety algorithm on this given data. Okay, we'll see how to solve this. Okay, so initially, how many resources they have given? 3. And how many processes? That is 5. Okay, do remember I'm following step number 1 with respect to safety algorithm, right? So what is given in step number 1? We are assigning available value to another variable called work according to the algorithm, right? So what is work now? See here, I assigned value available to work. So available values 3, 3, 2. A has 3, B has 3 and C has 2, right? So that I am going to write it here. 3, 3, 2. Hope this is clear, right? So the next thing given in first step is finish is equal to false. For all I value, we are assigning finish is equal to false. So first I have written false, the next I have just mentioning it as FFF. False, false, false. This is I is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and now this is 4. So for all 5 process we initializing it to false. Okay, next move to step number, this is step number 1. Now we will move to step number 2. Step 2. Here we'll start from first process for I is equal to 0. So here according to algorithm, in the second step it's given need of 0, that is first process. What is the need of first process? It is, you can see here, need of first process is 743. So I am writing this here as it is 743, right? So then check the condition. Finish of 0 is equal to false. Yes, it is, right? Finish of 0 is equal to false. And another condition is need of 0, is it lesser than or equal to work, right? So what is work here? It is lesser than or equal to work. So what is need here? 743. See, you're not supposed to read it as 743. This is A, this is B, this is C. So it is completely different. So 743 work is 332. So is need 0 lesser than or equal to work? Is this A, B, C? A value greater here, B value greater here, C value greater here. So obviously need is not lesser than or equal to work. Need is greater than the work here, isn't it? That's why here, so P0, or you can say P0 must wait. Since it is lesser, we can't assign the resources for this P0. So P0 has to wait for some time. Fine. So next, according to the algorithm, what we have to do? It is an iteration, right? So again, we'll increment I. For I is equal to 1. Then check what is need of 1. Need of 1 means P1. P1 need is 1, 2, 2, right? So that I am going to write here 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, right? Now finish of 1 is equal to false. It is false, right? It is false. So we'll check next condition. that is need of 1 work. Is it lesser than or equal to work? Need of 1 is 1, 2, 2. Work is the same, 3, 3, 2. Yes, this is lesser than 3, 3, 2. So if it is lesser, what is the step you have to follow? You have to continue with step number 3, right? So if this is lesser, you can say P1 must be kept in safe sequence. I hope it is clear till now. Okay, once this holds good, the next step is step number 3 according to algorithm. This is still step 2. Step number 3. In step number 3, according to algorithm, what we have to do? Work is equal to work plus allocation, right? So here it is allocation of P1. So as I said, P1 must be kept in safe sequence since this condition holds good, isn't it? So if it is in safe sequence means what? We can assign the available resource to this process and process can complete its execution, right? So now what is work? Work is 3, 3, 2 plus allocation of first process. What is allocation of first process? It is 0, 1, 0. So that I am adding it up. Allocation, P1, right? It is 200. It's not 100, 010. We have to see for P1, right? So 200. Sorry, I made a mistake. So here it should be 200. I'll repeat. Allocation of first process. Allocation of P1 process. That's why it is 200. Fine. So this line says with the available resources we are adding the allocated resources. Okay, with both work and allocation the process can complete the execution. So now if you add it up, 3 plus 2 it is 5, 3 plus 0 it is 3, 2 plus 0 it is 2. Now work has new value 532, that is A, this is B and this is C. Okay, now according to the algorithm, finish for first P0 it is false, right? For the second one now it is true, right? Okay, let me write like this. For 0 P0 it is false, for P1 it is true, for P2 again false, 3 false, again for 4 again it is false. I hope this is clear, right? Next is what? Will increment I value now. Again for I is equal to 2 and I is equal to 2, and this goes to step 2. I is equal to 2. What is need of 2? That is what is need of P2. Need of P2 is 600, right? Need of P2 is 600, isn't it? Now according to this algorithm, Finish of 2 is equal to false. Yes, it is, right? And check the need. Need is what here? 600. And work is, the work value is new value now, 532. According to algorithm, we have to check whether need is lesser than or equal to work, right? This condition doesn't hold good because 600, it is greater than 532, isn't it? So this doesn't hold good. So what has to be done? So P2 has to wait. Okay, P2 has to wait. Fine. I hope this is clear. We'll continue. We'll increment I value now. For I is equal to 3 now. Okay. What is need matrix for this 3? Need matrix of P3 is 0, 1, 1. We'll consider that 0, 1, 1. Fine. This is step 2 according to the algorithm. Fine. Now finish of 3 is equal to false. Yes, it is, right? And need, what is the need of this? It is 0, 1, 1. And we have to compare this with work, right? Now the work value is 532. Need is lesser than work, right? So this condition holds good. So what we have to do? So P3 must be kept in safe sequence. I hope this is clear, right? P3 should be kept in safe sequence. Now go to step number 3. Here work is equal to work plus allocation of process P3, isn't it? So what is work value here? It is 532 plus allocation of P3. What is allocation of P3? Allocation of P3 is 211. It is given in the question. So 211. Okay. Now you add this. 5 plus 2 is 7. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. So now the value of work is 743. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay. Now we'll see the finish. As you know, this is false. For P1 it is true. For P2 it is false. For P3 it is true, and for P4 it is false. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what is the next step? Again increment I value. I is equal to 4 now, right? Step 2. I is equal to 4. What is need matrix of this process? We have calculated here. Need matrix for P4 is 4, 3, 1. So that I am going to write here 4, 3, 1. Okay. What is the next thing? Finish of 4 is equal to false. Yes, it is, right? So, and then need of this should be checked with work. Now the value of work is this, right? Next thing we have to check, is it lesser than? Yes, it is, right? 431. Need is lesser than the work value here, isn't it? One second. Okay, so this is lesser, right? So now the next thing is, since it is, this condition holds good, so P4 must be kept in safe sequence, right? Next, move to step number 3. Now work is equal to work plus allocation of 4. So now work value is 743 plus allocation of process P4. Allocation is 002. So that I am writing here 002. If you add it up, you will get 745. Now the work value is 745. Do remember, with the available resources, work value, we are considering the allocated resources. Combining these two, the process P4 will complete its execution. Now the available resources in the system is 745. What happens to finish now? Finish array. Finish is equal to, as you know, 0. P0 is false. For P1 it is true. For P2 it is false. P3 it is true. Now P4 is also true, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is step 3. Yes. Now for us done, right? Now the next thing is, again we have to consider the processes which are not yet assigned with the required resources. Now looking at this array, you can find out P0 and P2 we have not assigned any resources to this, right? Again we'll start from there. For I is equal to 0, need is what? Need 0 is equal to next column. Okay, now finish of 0 is equal to false. Yes, it is, right? Then check need of it, that is 743. Is it lesser than work? What is work value? 745. That is 745, isn't it? So yes, it is 745. It is lesser than 743 is lesser than 745. So what you can see here, this is step 2. Okay, since it is lesser, we can say P0 must be kept in save sequence. Save sequence. Okay, since it is lesser, this process can be assigned with required resources. Now we'll move to the next step, that is step number 3. According to algorithm, what happens here? Work is equal to work plus work plus allocation. Allocation of which process? P0, right? So what is work here? It is 7 4 5 plus allocation of P0 is, you can check in the column, allocation column. So this is then 7, add it up, 5, 5. So now work value is 7, 5. This is A, this is B, and this is C. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? Now what happens to finish array? Finish array, the first one, now it is true. For next process, P1, yes, it is true. I mean P1, yeah. For P2, still it is false. P3 true, P4 is also true. This is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Now, which is the left out process? That is I is equal to 2. That is P2, right? What is its need? Need of 2 is 6, 0, 0. This is step number 2, right? 6, 0, 0. So we'll check the condition. Finish of 2 is equal to false. Yes, it is, right? And need is 6, 0, 0. And the available, work is 7, 5, 5. Which one is greater? This one is greater. So obviously need is lesser than the available or work, right? So what happens now? Since it is lesser, P2 must be kept in save sequence. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? And this finishes, we'll move to step number 3, where work is equal to work plus allocation of which process? That is P2. Work is what here? It is 7, 5, 5. Allocation is, you can check in the column, okay? That is 3, 0, 2. If you add it up, it is 10, it is 5, it is 7. Clear? Now work is 10, 5, 7. Now what happens to finish array? Finish array equals to P0 true, P1 is true, P2 is true, P3 is true, and P4 is true. So all process completes its execution. So this current assignment of the resource type leads to a save sequence, right? So how do we write the save sequence now? Yes, the save sequence is the order in which we executed the process. That is, first we executed P1, right? See here, first one is P1. In the finish array, here this is true, that is P1. So first one is P1, and next is P3, right? So that we have to write it in the sequence. Yes, here it is. P1, P3, the next one is P4, and then P0, and then P2. So this order will lead the system into save state. Okay, this is all about the safety algorithm. Fine. Next part. Next question is, what will happen if process P1 requests one additional instance of resource type A and 2 instances of resource type C? Now the question is, what if there is an additional resource request from a particular process? Then will that request be granted immediately, or the particular process has to wait? So that we have to check whether it can be immediately assigned with the required resources the requested resources or not. That can be checked by following resource request algorithm. This is the second algorithm under Banker's algorithm. We'll see that particular algorithm now. Algorithm name is resource request algorithm. Okay, see here, algorithm for determining whether request can be safely granted. For this, let request I be the request vector for process pi. Okay, if request I of j is equal to k, then processes pi wants k instances of resource type rj. This is more in a readable form, so you can just read it out. If you read it out, you will understand what it is. Okay, when a request for resources is made by process pi, the following actions are taken. That means if there is an additional request from a particular process after running safety algorithm, this algorithm, that is request resource algorithm, will be executed. If there is a request, then following actions are taken. What is the first thing? If we have to check if request I, that is the new request of the from the particular process, is it lesser than or equal to need I. If this holds good, go to step 2. Okay, go to step 2. Otherwise, raise an error condition since the process has exceeded its maximum claim. Okay, so if this condition, if it is doesn't hold good, then there is a what the process has exceeded its maximum claim. In step number 2, again we have to check if request of I is lesser than or equal to available. If this is true, then go to step number 3. Otherwise, pi must wait since the resources are not available. In step number 3, have the system pretended to have allocated the requested resources to process pi by modifying the state. So if this holds good, then this will take place. What is done here? We have to modify the state. What are those? Available is equal to available minus request I. Allocation of I is equal to allocation I plus request I. Need I is equal to need I minus request I. So this changes we have to make in the given data if additional request is made. If the resulting resource allocation state is safe, then the transaction is completed and pi, that is process pi, is allocated its resources. Okay, we'll see with respect to the problem now. Now you consider there is a request from the process P1, additional request from the process P1. It requires resource type A, one instance. Okay, one instance of resource type A and two instances of resource type C. So A is 1, B is 0, C is 2. Now we have to decide whether this will be granted immediately or not. Okay, now we'll run the algorithm now. Fine. What is the first step in the algorithm? We have to check request 1, is it lesser than need, right? So according to this algorithm, you can see here, okay, request, is it lesser than need, right? So request of process 1, is it lesser than need 1? So this need 1 is what? Yes, need is the process 1 need 1 2 2. Okay, sorry, I have to write it here as 1 2 2. Okay, now check the request of 1 p1, it is lesser than need 1, right? So this condition holds good. Go to step 2 now. Request 1, is it lesser than or equal to available? Request 1 is 102. what is available at the beginning of the program or the problem, it is 332. This request obviously lesser than the available. This condition also holds good. Directly we move to the step number 3 here. What is there in step number 3? Available is equal to available minus request 1. Allocation is equal to allocation 1 plus request 1. Need 1 is equal to need 1 minus request 1. So with respect to process 1, we have to make all this modification. So available value will change now. Available is what? 332. That is 332 minus request 1, right? So what is the value now? 332 minus request is 102. If you subtract it, what will be the value? 3 minus 1 is, I'm writing it here, 3 minus 1 is 2, 3 minus 0 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0. So it is 2, 3, 0. So this is new available value now. Correct? Okay, now what is allocation? Allocation of which process? P1. Right? Allocation plus request 1. What is allocation? Initial allocation for process 1. You can see here. Initial allocation is P for P1 200, right? I'm going to write it here. 200 plus request. Request is what? 102. Right? Add it up. How much? It is 302. Right? So that I'm going to write it in the allocation. Fine. Now, need. Need of which process? P1. How do we do that? Need. What is the need of process 1? 122. That is here. I'm going to write it here. Please bear with me. 122 minus request. Request is 102. How much now? Subtract it. Yes, it is 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. And 2 minus 2 is 0. Right? So need of this process is 0 to 0. Isn't it? Yes. So this is the new matrix with respect to process 1. See, I have rewritten this table. Why? Because to say that all other allocation and need remain same, only the process which has made a request for resource type, for that particular process value changes according to the algorithm. See, this is the new table. With this we have to check whether request can be satisfied or not, right? So for this again we have to run safety algorithm. For this table we have to run safety algorithm. So we have allocation column and need column, available column, and max we have it when we run the safety algorithm initially, right? So with whole new data, again run the safety algorithm and find out the safe sequence, like all the steps whatever we followed here. In the same way you have to run the safety algorithm for this data and find out the safe sequence for this. Okay, so you run and check it out. Okay, so I'll just write the final safe sequence for this. Safe sequence after running safety algorithm for this table, it is P1, P3, P4, P0, P2. So this is the safe sequence for this table. Okay, Simply you can't write this, you have to rerun this algorithm, safety algorithm, then only you will get this. So since it is a safe sequence, we can say the new system state is safe, so we can immediately grant the request. Grant the request for which process? Which process? That is process 1. Right? I hope this is clear. So that concludes Banker's algorithm. Thank you.